The forbidden fruit, was it really an apple or something deeper? In the lush, tranquil Garden of Eden, humanity faced its greatest test. The forbidden fruit has sparked centuries of debate. Was it just an apple, or did it symbolize something far more profound? Prepare to uncover the breathtaking truth, explained verse by verse through the pages of the Bible, using insights from the New World Translation and J.W.org. Genesis chapter 2, verses 16 to 17. And Jehovah God also gave this command to the man: "From every tree of the garden you may eat to satisfaction, but as for the tree of the knowledge of good and bad, you must not eat from it. For in the day you eat from it, you will certainly die." This command was crystal clear. Adam was free to enjoy the abundance of the garden, but one tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and bad, was off limits. This was not about the fruit itself, but about obedience and trust in Jehovah's sovereignty. By abstaining, Adam and Eve would show that they acknowledged Jehovah as the ultimate lawgiver. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1 to 3. Now the serpent was the most cautious of all the wild animals of the field that Jehovah God had made. So it said to the woman, "Did God really say that you must not eat from every tree of the garden?" Enter the serpent, a cunning, deceptive tool of Satan. This question sowed doubt, twisting God's words to imply harshness or restriction. Satan aimed to fracture Eve's trust in Jehovah, paving the way for disobedience. Genesis chapter 3, verse 4 to 5. At this, the serpent said to the woman, "You certainly will not die, for God knows that in the very day you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and bad." Here lies the core of the deception. Satan's bold lie directly contradicted Jehovah's warning, painting disobedience as liberating. This was not about a literal apple, but about a choice. Would Eve trust Jehovah's wisdom or seek independence from his guidance? Genesis chapter 3, 6. Consequently, the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was something desirable to the eyes. Yes, the tree was pleasing to look at. So she began taking of its fruit and eating it. Afterward, she also gave some to her husband when he was with her, and he began eating it. The forbidden fruit became more than just food. It became a symbol of self-reliance and rebellion. Eve allowed desire and doubt to overpower obedience. She gave the fruit to Adam, and together they violated Jehovah's simple yet profound command. Genesis chapter 3, verses 7 to 8. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized that they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made loin coverings for themselves. Later they heard the voice of Jehovah, God, as he was walking in the garden about the breezy part of the day. And the man and his wife hid from Jehovah God among the trees of the garden. Their eyes were indeed opened, but not to the wisdom Satan promised. Instead, they became painfully aware of their guilt. Fear and shame replaced the innocence and peace they once enjoyed. They had severed their perfect relationship with Jehovah. What was the forbidden fruit? The Bible provides no evidence that the forbidden fruit symbolizes sexual relations. As highlighted on J.W.org, Jehovah had already commanded Adam and Eve to be fruitful and become many. Genesis 1:28. Sexual intimacy within marriage was part of God's purpose, not the forbidden act. Instead, the fruit represents a deliberate act of disobedience, a decision to determine for themselves what was right and wrong. Rejecting Jehovah's guidance, the consequences. Their disobedience brought sin and death into the world. Romans chapter 5 verse 12 explains, "That is why, just as through one man's sin entered into the world, and death through sin, and so death spread to all men because they had all sinned." Their choice affected all of humanity, but Jehovah's purpose was not thwarted. Through Jesus Christ, Jehovah provided a way for obedient humans to regain what was lost. The forbidden fruit was never about the fruit itself. It was about loyalty, obedience, and trust in Jehovah. The story of Adam and Eve reminds us of the importance of adhering to God's instructions, even when faced with temptation. Let this serve as a timeless lesson. True freedom comes from obedience to Jehovah, not independence from Him. Want to learn more about God's purpose for humanity and how we can benefit from His guidance today? Watch our other videos and explore the truths found in the Bible. Subscribe now and deepen your understanding of God's Word.